So the first trailer dropped for Tokyo Revenger Season 2, and after the huge cliffhanger of the first season, I can't wait to see what they have in store. Let's have a look together. Okay, so we're here with the first PV or teaser trailer that dropped for Tokyo Revenger Season 2. Now, the first season left us with a huge cliffhanger with Takemichi being shot by Kisaki. So, honestly, I haven't read the manga yet. I'm just following the story through the anime, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. So let's have a look at the trailer and see what awaits us in the next season.
Okay. こいつを殺せ
Nice logo with the dark background.
こんなんじゃない。
2番隊副隊長芝八海だ。生まれた環境を憎むな八海。12月25日クリスマスだ。
主よ、なぜ神は私にばかり試練を。俺はお前を殺す。
Okay, that's the title of the new season. We're gonna get back to it.
芝大樹。
大樹は私らの兄貴。
俺さ、
He seemed like the
どこ
Black
目指してるのか
Dragons.
分かんなくなっちゃった。
Another group.
これは若じゃねえかよ。
てめえら全員殺してやる。
ありがとう三ツ矢。でもね、その期待が人を苦しめることもあるんだよ。
そんな顔すんな八海。分かってっから。
決めたぜ千冬。ブラックドラゴンをぶっ潰す。
Okay, nice shot. Okay, so what I got from here is well, it's going to be quite an interesting season. Let's rewind a little bit and have a look at some of the highlights here. So here we have the leader of the Black Dragons, and apparently he is the older brother of Shiba Hakkai, who's going to be forced to leave the Manji gang and join the Black Dragons instead. So I think this season is mostly going to be those two gangs against each other. Now, how we're going to go from last season's cliffhanger to this, I'm not quite sure. But it looks very promising. The title is very well done. Animation style seems to be on par with what we saw the last season, which, in my opinion, isn't bad and isn't exceptional. It's just middle of the road. I think this is definitely a story that deserves high animation quality, and what we're getting is pretty plain, if I'm allowed to say that, or if you understand what I mean. It's not that I fault anything or that there's something really awful about the animation, but there's also nothing exceptional. You look at the backgrounds, there's not really all that much high detail in it. For example, like we get with Kimetsu no Yaiba. Even though I think both stories these are the two anime I'm currently following where I'm very invested in the story. And so here we have Shiba Hakkai, who's going to have to apparently leave the Manji and join the Red Dragons gang. Now, I know some people... I've read some online reviews. Some people aren't so very much into this anime, but I think it's a great anime. I really enjoy it. Together with my wife, actually, we watch it together. What really talks to me or speaks to me is not only the fact that you see Takemichi grow as a person, but also the fact that they couple a sci-fi element, being the whole time travel thing, to an actual subculture in Japan, the Bosozoku culture, that gang culture amongst youngsters, which is much less prevalent today, but was very prevalent in the 80s, even later still in the early 2000s. When you go to the countryside, outside of the big cities, I've seen some Bosozoku, some gangs. Certainly not as violent necessarily as they are here portrayed, but it's an interesting mixture in my opinion. I really enjoy that. So here we're going to have so the focus is probably going to be on this character Shiba Hakkai, who's going to have to choose between his older brother, who's leading the Black Dragons, or his comrades, his friends in the Manji gang. That's going to be really interesting, I think. How things are going to develop here with Kisaki, I'm not quite sure. Going a little bit further, there were a couple of things of notice here. Apparently, he seems to be rather the religious type. I'm not sure if that's going to play a part or not. And then if we keep going a little bit, here we have the title of the second season. Now, if I read it out loud, that is Seiya Kesenhen. So that's going to be the Holy Night Decisive Battle chapter. Holy Night. I see some Christianity in there. Clearly that's Christmas. Holy Night is a reference to Christmas. A little bit further down the road, we see indeed, here we see the Black Dragons. Seems to be a rather well organized and pretty large group. Here with the Christmas tree with Mikey in front of it. So clearly, I think we're going to have a bit of a similar situation as we had in the previous arc, where you had a decisive battle during the Bloody Halloween episode. So where on Halloween you had two gangs facing off and having a very decisive battle. It looks like we're going to get the same thing, or the same kind of setup at least. But this time things are going to take place on Christmas Eve, which is quite interesting. Now, just a side note here, Christmas Eve in Japan is not so much a time to spend with family as it is in the West, but more a time that you spend with friends. Christmas in Japan, you have less of that religious connotation, you have less of that family element in there. New Year's Eve is more an event that you share with family members, whereas Christmas Eve is an event that you share with your friends. So that's going to be, in that sense, it makes sense that on Christmas Eve, because you have strong friendship bonds within these gangs, so it makes sense that they would have the decisive battle on Christmas Eve, even though for Western people that might seem weird. So going ahead a little bit, here we see the Black Dragons, and I believe this is his. These are the three siblings. So the Shibai siblings. The oldest brother is the leader of the Black Dragons. Then we have Hakai, who is part of the Manji gang, and then the youngest one, the sister, who's there as well. That's going to be, I think, the focal point of this chapter here, of this season here, or at least be an important part in this chapter. So, but aside from that, it's really hard to tell what is going to happen. Now here we have, see a bit clearer image. Yeah, so here we have the gang reunited. I think these are going to be the characters that are going to be in the spotlight for this season. Of course, we have Takemichi, right, in the middle. Then we have the Black Dragons with their leader, and then his younger brother, younger sister. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the second season. I really enjoyed the first one as well. It was very, very entertaining. I must say, me and my wife, we watched it as the episodes were coming out. We watched it on Amazon streaming, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Amazon streaming with our Japanese subscription. And I must say, we were really waiting each and every time, every week for a new episode to come out. We couldn't wait to see the next and the next and the next. So it's going to be great being able to watch a continuation of the story. Perhaps we'll rewatch the first season one more time before we jump into the second one. But it's definitely a series that has captured our attention. So yeah, pretty excited for this new season. What do you make of it? I would be interested to hear. Are you excited for the new season? Have you read the manga already? Do you know what's going to happen? Please don't spoil it for me. But if you are looking forward to it, I would be interested to hear from you. So hope you enjoyed this trailer reaction. Take care. I'll catch you guys at the next one. Jane. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell, and sound off in the comments. And hey, while you're here, why not check out another video?